No, the torture dungeon stuff wasn't live. Now it is.
You missed the word, Tast. It's sex torture dungeon.
I don't think it actually was.
Everybody, Vogue.
I am dead today.
I have a dragon. Does that count?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Madness of the Land. We're back playing some more D&D. Hope everybody's having a great day, great week, all that stuff. Of course, joining me once again are Joe, Mads, Unfunnyone, and Tiv. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Wake the fuck up, Tiv.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for saying it. You win. You win. Anyway, when we last left off, the team had explored the land of the fields and had successfully done what they came out to do. They had a list of things that they had decided to do inside of the crappy map that were provided with by the goblin Glem, and a little bit of information they were able to discover their own. They found the wizard's tower, discovered the sphere there, and promptly yoinked it. They tried to find the nomads to no avail, unfortunately. They managed to encounter the goblins, in which they killed a bunch of them, and stole their blacksmith.
Magna.
Oops.
Uh-huh.
He's our sex slave.
I don't think
I'm not having sex with an ogre.
It's a troll.
It's a troll.
Also, he
Troll.
would rip you in half.
He probably would.
Maybe you guys. I'm resistant. So,
You're resistant to troll sex.
force damage, baby. Force damage. I mean,
Troll.
Or would it be
Human.
or would it be piercing?
Ew.
I think it would be bludgeoning and piercing.
Troll compared to human.
I think we broke
Look
Mads. I think we broke Mads.
Hey, Mads is just
There.
here. She's just staring off. We'll just turn her around and face her to the wall. and hopefully she doesn't wake up and turn around.
I mean,
She's
if
planned
she's
something.
zoned out like that, we can always have her as the keeper of the loop.
No.
She doesn't participate, she just holds a bucket.
Anyway, you found yourself in the Trug Caves once again, and
You'll need
having continuing your friendly relationships with the basically the lizard folk cavemen. You spend a relatively uneventful evening of jovial partying, but I guess it's not like a party you would go to ever. Not one that you actually recognize. I mean, there's like some very primitive music. Probably someone put on a dance that like is weird and reptilian. And you were given like some kind of stew of mushrooms and unidentified meat.
Shake those scales, baby.
Which seems
What,
like
what kind of dance would a reptilian dance be? Would that be like pop and locking? Like
I don't know. It's hard to
the
say.
worm?
A little bit of the worm, probably too. Probably involves a lot of the tail, which you guys don't have tails.
It's called the snake instead of the worm. Just so you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a dance like if two of them are together, they interlock their tails together or something. You know.
Okay, we're thinking way too much into this.
Are we thinking like Avatar, that one weird blue movie with the
Alright,
aliens?
we're back to sex. We're back to sex again, guys.
No, we're not. We're not.
Alright, Mads, get the bucket of lube.
I will leave again.
God.
Hey, what are you doing with your hair?
Anyway,
That was weird.
Hey baby,
That was
what that braid do?
Oh, especially that they controlled their animals with it, too.
mm-hmm.
Oh god, I never even thought about that. Let's move on.
Isn't that how they catch them? They're like, they jump on them and they force it, like, on them? Like, come
Yes.
on.
Yes.
It's horrible.
It is.
horrible.
Showing dominance.
That's some effed up stuff when you think about it.
It really
Fucking
is.
They could at least have
Hard.
two. They could at least have two. Like, this one's for me, and this one's, you know.
Anyway.
This is what happens when we haven't talked in a couple weeks.
We get to really bad conversations. Anyway, it's a stew of, which, with some educated guess, since it's some kind of dried meat, you can guess that maybe, perhaps, it's dried boulet.
Educated guesses.
Educated guess.
Hey, there's 2 educated here.
Mm-hmm.
Are we counting Percy?
No. God, no.
God, no.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
He knows a lot about names now. I mean, so...
for an Arcana, I can start teaching him some of them.
Mm-hmm. And you'll also enjoy, like, it's out of these bowls that seem to be made of, like, insect shells. Like cool. They would be, like, cat-sized insects to you guys. To them, still pretty small, but to you guys, it's like, ooh, wow, you know.
I made sure that Signe ate rations because she was against eating the stew last time. So I gave her one of my rations to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Since she's just like, I mean, I'm assuming.
Just slide stew underneath
her face. Do you make faces like you're like?
Just slide a bowl of stew there.
Put a spoon in the hand, you know.
She's just sipping air.
Take the spoon away and she just starts scooping.
No, she just picks up the whole shell and goes.
So
I imagine Fafnir helps her. Like, she gets a spoon close, and if she's a little off, he'll, like, use his tail to, like, correct her.
Oh, no, he would definitely just throw it in her face.
Anyway, you do have a fairly nondescript evening of rest, then.
Yeah.
Rock beds.
I'm sharing alcohol as well.
Okay. They probably have something, like, that if you would discuss it with them, it's like fermented bug juice.
And mold.
Actually, I would pull out one of the fancy wines that we got from the tower.
Okay.
We got like a whole case, and then I'll pull out one of them and show them what we would consider a delicacy. And I would offer it to the chieftain lady before tongues ends, after like along the same time when I gave her the bugbear pelt.
Okay.
And then, I'm assuming the rest of the night I'm not gonna be able to speak to him.
No. Yeah. You break some communications. You kind of like share some wine, which they find unusual. You know.
Yeah. Grapes.
Sweet. What does this strange taste?
Feeling pretty secure, Zach would actually, after he has a talk with Ulfgar about, you know, someone having a photogenic memory and being really smart, he will just kind of go, yeah, and then grab something to drink. He will drink more copious than you guys have seen him before, seeing that we're in a relatively safe space.
I mean, there's a level of disgustingness to their fermented, like, bug wine, but there it also isn't too bad. It's as much as you would think about it.
After the third drink, I'm good. I'm just gonna...
And you will all have relatively uneventful evenings and rests. Save for poor Signe, who's still plagued by unusual nightmares at this point in time.
Oh, Tiff, where'd you leave one of your, I don't remember who it was. It was Pinky, I think, that had the skulls. Is it staying in the room with us, or are you going to put him somewhere else?
He doesn't like out too close to us anyway, so they'll be like a little bit down the hallway.
Alright, so she's not like right with the skulls, because I mean that was our only train of thought, was like the skulls with her. That's it.
They also didn't say anything about, you know, them actually doing it.
So.
In fact, they implied that they were not doing
it. Yeah, tonight's nightmares were all about you killing people. in very horrible manners.
Like anybody I recognize?
No, you don't recognize anybody.
That's good at least.
It seems more like tonight's nightmares, where you were taking the role of someone in charge of troops. You couldn't tell like what the troops looked like. You know, they were nondescript, but it looked like what you were doing at charge of them is basically prisoners were captured, and you were brutally executing those prisoners, almost to put on a show for your own troops.
Look what I could do.
Mm-hmm.
I am highly disturbed.
Yes, it's like, and the details just seem to be like peasants, you know, like the victims you have more details about, like, in your brain than anything else, unfortunately. But after your slightly disturbing night and everybody else's fine nights, maybe a little hungover, you awaken the next day.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. 15. I'm not hungover. I'm good.
Maybe you might be... You're feeling it a little bit, but you're not like... You probably drank a little water, too.
I'm a little stiff. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It was bent. They rock hard.
Ulfgar is completely unaffected. He's just like...
We actually all rolled pretty well. I mean...
Yep.
Yeah, because you have a +8.
Yeah.
I only have a +1.
Yes.
Yeah. You want me to be the one that rolls bad in that situation. Alright, cool. So, I don't think we have any plans to stay, right? We're just heading back out.
You were kind of meeting with them. I guess
Yeah.
reaffirming that you're at a peace with them.
Yeah. Zach would ask Ulfgar, do you think it's worth doing that spell on me that you did yesterday just to update them about the Dreadlord? Or do you think we should just let it be?
Up to you.
Honestly, I don't think they'll even care. I think this is their world in here. And I don't want you to waste any of our resources. We don't know what we have. We have a couple, like 2 weeks of travel?
It's probably not that far. Like, depending on the dangers you face and, like, any kind of problems, how many times you might have to camp, up to a week of travel it would be about here. Since you know the way pretty straight as it is.
Alright, so Zach will just say, actually, I'd rather you focus on your effort at trying to send a message once we get to the other side. Maybe there's something, maybe us being in a different area of that map is affecting it. I'm kind of worried. Especially with the elf thing, you know? What do you think?
Makes sense. If I can't get through on the other side, might be dead.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I'd have
Okay.
a lot of riding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you collect all names, or just the ones you take?
Ones I take, ones I watch over.
So photographic, really? He's that good with knowledge?
I'm not saying he's particularly smart or wise, I'm saying that's a kid.
Well, alright, let's hold off on the training with you for now. I'm gonna speak with Chance. I want to give him all of his opportunities to see which style he might enjoy more before I push him down a certain path. You know, me and you have very distinctly different fighting styles than Chance does. So, if you don't mind.
By all means.
Alright. And I'll approach Chance. I'm assuming we're doing this as we're walking the path
Yes.
to get out.
As you're
We have no
leaving.
reason to. Yeah. So I'll approach Chance, who's probably up front, because, you know, it's
Yeah.
Chance. Chance, you got a moment? May I speak with you?
Sure. Is there something you need?
Yes, I wouldn't mind a small favor. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been trying to expand Percy's knowledge beyond the scope of my own knowledge. And, well, you're vastly different than I am when it comes to skills. I was wondering if you might take an approach with him. You know, teach him more of the sly type fighting than the blunt force that I use, or the arcane sort that Master Ulfgar uses. Would you mind doing that just a little bit every night, or whenever at your leisure?
Yeah, that's no problem at all.
Okay, he's a small kid. Let's chill with the beheading and cutting off body part things. He's a kid.
Understood.
Thanks. I'll kind of let him distance, and I'll send Percy up to him.
Okay.
As I'll stay with Signe like I've been.
Yep.
Just kind of keeping her from falling down or whatever she's doing. I don't know.
I
just run into walls. Just hey.
Hello.
Hi. So I've understood that I am to teach you some things.
I think, my lord wishes for me to have some skill at tracking, I guess. I guess it's a very useful skill in this place. Kind of finding things and such.
Definitely. Also, he mentioned to teach you to fight the way I do as well.
Oh, you mean like shooting things from afar?
That, and also being able to sneak up on your enemy.
Oh, be quiet. That sounds like a good idea.
Useful in many ways.
Yeah. My lord's not very quiet at all.
No, he's a bit boisterous, but he's a fine man.
That he is. He's teaching me all many great things about the world as it is. I kind of look up to him like a father. I never knew my father.
What happened to him?
Oh, died in the war, like everybody else.
I definitely can understand that. The war took my family as well.
Oh.
At that point, I don't know if Percy would notice or not. He kind of reaches in his pocket and starts fiddling with something.
If he does, he doesn't say anything.
Okay. I'll start pointing like little interesting bits of nature out as we go.
Yeah.
If I see any tracks, I'll point them out.
Yeah. But there's not a lot in the cave travels from the
right,
territory, but
I know it doesn't take much to get out of the caves. I mean more when we get out.
Yeah, that's fine. When you go out, you'll definitely lead the way. So you will emerge back out into the Central Valley once again. It's a strange thing that, like, when you emerge out, like, the angle of the sun was quite different where you were, and it felt very different. Like, now that you're back under with the sun beating down above, again, it's like, it feels familiar to you, but there is also something different about it for all of you. You almost feel like being somewhere else has almost lifted a weight off of your shoulder of, like, having constant light above you at all times. It's like it's like a madness of, like, almost just like you don't know what time it is, you can't tell anything, it's just constant sun always, and it's still there, but it's almost like you at least had a chance to refresh yourselves in somewhere dark that isn't a basement.
As soon as we get out, after we get like probably 50 feet or so from the cave entrance, I'll hold up and Chance, hold up, since he's in front, and I will go, Master Ulfgar, do you mind? It'll determine how. Do you mind seeing if we can communicate with them? It'll determine how fast we should head back.
Sending.
Who are you contacting anyway?
Orn.
Okay.
The one he trusts.
Orn will, let me check sending to see here. Just sending. Okay.
Short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. If they hear it, they can send it back.
Okay. You can send your message, and Orin will respond back with a message.
What did you want to say?
Well, originally we wanted to try to give them a breakdown of the room so they can start working on it. So when we get there, they could start using the map orb.
Mm-hmm.
But then a bunch of shit happened, and we don't know if we were cut off. So we haven't really given you different instructions since then. So I don't know what Ulfgar would prioritize.
25 words.
Yeah.
I'm not a charisma-based character.
He probably would use. He would probably not use all 25.
Build room. Limestone, 25 feet across. You're the one that actually knew that stone too. We weren't able to figure it out. You were.
Limestone. Dome. We have the map. Needs the room. Also high.
Yeah, we've been gone for like 2 months at this point, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Zach has like a full beard at this point. Like he has like a messed up haircut because remember he got all burnt up.
Yeah.
So when we get to the other side, while he's doing that, Zach will pull over Percy and say, "I trust you," and hand him a dagger and ask him to shave his head.
All right.
Do
Do
you
it.
trust Percy?
I have to. He has to be confident, man.
All right. Yeah. Is he like shaving it bald, or is he just cutting your hair?
Yeah, he's just shaving it bald.
Okay.
He's not doing anything fancy.
He does a pretty decent job. It looks like he's not really like trained at making sure it's perfectly shaved, but he certainly has your hair very short and like definitely bald in certain areas. And he actually manages not to cut you at all, really.
I like a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Is it bad?
It's decent.
Better than what it was.
Yeah. It's not perfect, but it's not bad.
We're trying to give someone confidence. Usually you don't want to ask how bad it is right after.
Right when they're still
point.
next to you.
It's a fair point. Percy, you did a great job. And I'll stand up and... Alright, let's... did it work, Master Ulfgar?
I'm waiting for a response.
Okay.
He will probably give a confused response of what?
I mean, it is out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He might even be eating breakfast. But then the voice just...
Ulfgar?
Well, there goes my other 3rd level slot for the day.
Heather. Did you use the first one?
I
Sunday.
use it every time to keep my skeletons going.
Oh.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm at a constant -1.
Alright. Well, it worked. At least it worked. We can try again tomorrow. Yes. Is that okay with you, Master Ulfgar?
Why not?
Excellent. I'll look at Signe. Does she look any different? All right. Well then, let's get going. Percy, you're with Chance, and I'll just get behind Signe again and just continue our march.
All right.
I'm just holding her shoulders so she doesn't fall off a road or something by if it's loose gravel or something. I'm not doing anything weird.
Yeah.
Yet.
A couple days.
As he continues marching, his hands slowly slide down from the shoulder.
That's messed up. That's so messed up.
A couple days of travel will go by, and you can effectively message Orn over the period of time and relay some information about kind of what's going on. I'm assuming it's mainly starting construction of what you want. Is there anything else you want to try to relay before you get back?
I would stress upon him to inform him that the Dreadlord is highly active and we've already found one cell that was like of goblins that was large. But I don't know how he would describe it.
Dreadlord is active. Found some goblins. Not nearby, but active. Also high.
Is that like at the end? You just always say, also high.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, Ulfgar. I'm going to ask a favor of when we are camping, if I could borrow one of the skeleton's bows to help teach Percy.
If you needed a bow, take from the goblin back.
Oh, do we have some in there?
Do we have any extra bows?
I don't think we took bows. We took a lot of like wizard stuff, like focuses and books and stuff.
Yeah, you like left all the goblin equipment.
Slinky, let him use your bow.
Thank you.
You're the worst with it, Eddie.
I didn't tell them apart. like, they're just bones.
Skella racist.
They all look
You
alike.
realize that skin and how your face is created is based off of not only flesh, but how the bone is, right?
Sure. I mean, I never really examined somebody when I peeled off their flesh, but okay.
Do you see how big Chance's head is?
It's mighty big.
That is
Almost
not.
half my size.
That's not because he has lots of flesh around. He has a big skull.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has a big brain or if it's extra thick.
Alright, he has good ears. Let's not.
Now, Percy, aim right there.
3 bows against 1. We'll see.
And a hand crossbow.
Guys, don't make me stand in front and be a pincushion again. I don't need to be a pincushion again.
Aim for between his legs, but try not to hit him.
You don't want to.
I will also. We found a stash of like beginner level Arcana books.
Yeah.
That we took. I don't know anything about Arcana books, so like you can just choose. He's gonna grab one of them, look it over, and and when Percy is like just chilling in his thing, he's gonna hand it to Percy and say, "Try to see if you can read this."
Okay. Let me just check something here. Yeah. He'll like be reading through it, and he'll be like, "Oh, this is kind of interesting. It's kind of describing some of the makeup of the world, I guess you could say, and the energies that's all around us."
Okay, Percy, I want you to think really hard about this the next couple of days.
Okay.
I want you to think about what you enjoy the most. What kind of approach to combat you might enjoy.
Huh.
I'm going to point to the book. This kind, to where you have a different understanding of the world, versus my kind, versus the way Chance showed you, or the devoutness of Master Ulfgar.
There's also Ted, or not Ted, Tim, excuse me, in town who can teach him arcane magics.
Yes. But Percy, I want you to decide. I want you to think about this long and hard. Don't answer me until we get to town. But think about it, okay?
Okay. I'll think about it.
I'll leave him with the book. And
So,
it's bedtime. Go to bed.
Zach,
Yes.
so Blinky, He's the one who got burned. He's the one with char marks all over his bones. That one should be easy.
Yeah, that one's easy. Yes.
Okay. Slinky is taller than the others, and he's a little skinnier. Ted has a small chip in his skull right about here. And
I see it.
And Pinky's female.
That was such a waste of a 20. That was a waste of a goddamn 20. Yeah, I can see. Okay, I can see it. You're right. I never noticed before.
You can tell by the pelvis bones that Pinky is female.
Okay. Now it's just weird looking at that. I have a good night, Master Ulfgar. And he'll head to his little section with his sleeping bag with Percy.
Okay.
You don't want to know how they died.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
All right. A little bit more time passes, and as you are approaching the last bit of travel that you would do before you would hit the bridge that leads back over to your home realm, Chance, you happen to notice something, at least. And Ulfgar, though you're not in front, your adept abilities to perceive things also gives you an idea that something is going on up ahead.
Almost like I have 18 passive.
Yes. Almost like you have 18.
That's just stupid. That's just so bad.
There seems to be some kind of commotion going up ahead, at least a noisiness to it.
Just wait till level 8, Josh.
I'll stop Percy and tell him to crouch down.
Okay.
Seeing them stop, I'll stop and mimic them.
I'm also going to hold up a hand to everyone else.
Yeah. Can I pull Signe down? Would she come down, or I don't have to force her or anything? Would she come down? Okay. No, I just kind of gently push on her shoulders and kneel with her.
Okay.
Ulfgar is just like,
Laura, where the hell are you?
does Ulfgar kneel at all?
Yes.
I have 3 skeletons that are carrying a giant fucking orb.
And we have a troll. Never mind.
And
I'll
a
just
troll.
stop. You're absolutely right. We in the back. We'll just stop. There's no point.
What do I see exactly?
You can't really tell. It's maybe a couple 100 feet ahead of you.
You're
Okay.
not.
I'm going to look at Percy and go, stay where you are.
Alright.
And I'm going to try to get closer.
Please
Sit.
roll me some stealth then, if you're being stealthy.
Good Percy.
Yes.
Josh, get a dog and name it Percy now.
Okay.
I can't because of critical roll.
Oh, actually, I had the.
Oh.
That character has been named Percy for longer than Critical Role. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know. But it doesn't matter. Critical roll has tainted that name.
It totally tainted poor Percy's name. Technically, I think his name is... Technically,
I don't want him as a servant.
Good old Percival. Anyway, alright. It appears to be you kind of sneak up, kind of moving through the grass, which is, again, this grass is very much more waist-high grass.
Right.
So it is easier to move up over the small hills in this area. And you see what appears to be a large meeting. There is a number of Cyclops and Kalida.
Uh-oh.
You see 4 Cyclops and what appears to be a squadron of Kalida, but these look different than any you've seen before, as they appear to be in what best described as military garb. They seem like actual trained soldiers, led by what appears to be some kind of officer. They seem to be having some kind of discussion with the Cyclops.
What do Cyclops speak?
Giant.
Okay, don't understand anything that means that. Got it.
Yeah. What do
I
you...
will I will move back and inform everyone.
Okay.
There's Cyclops meeting with those Kalida beast people. The Khalida seem to be dressed in like official military garb. I don't like the smell of this.
Does anyone
You
hear
got
us?
close enough to smell them.
The Khalida you can smell from far away. And I'm sure
Does anyone here
the
speak
loincloths
what they
don't smell much better than the Cyclops.
What do they speak?
I don't know. I've never met the Khalida.
Well, they have their own language. None of us, I don't think, know that.
You could tell that the Khalida were speaking whatever language the Cyclops speak in.
Oh, okay. They seem to be speaking the same language as the Cyclops.
It seemed like the officer was the one that was speaking.
Well, I doubt I'd know anything that Cyclops.
Yeah. I'll look over to I forget his name, the blacksmith. It's probably something like Gruel. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Master blacksmith, would you happen to have knowledge of the language that Cyclops speak?
If they speak my native tongue, then yes. At least it would be similar, perhaps. A different dialect of the language all of us giants speak. If you perhaps want to try to remember and transcribe it to me.
Sounds like a job for pros.
Wait, Ulfgar,
Huh.
you made Zach speak those lizard people's language and understand it. Can you do the same for me? But not for the lizard people, but for these guys?
How many days have we been out here?
Probably about, let's say, like 5 now, we'll say.
Did I use up ascending today to get across stuff to Horn?
Probably not yet today. We'll kind of say, like, it's in the evening, so to say, of your schedule, and this is, like, early on in your schedule.
Technically, I could.
How close do you need to get? Chance.
I was able to hear from where I was. How close was that, Matt?
You were probably maybe, like, 100 feet away. It's pretty close, but it seems like they were embroiled in whatever discussion that they were having, and none of them were looking in your direction. At least when you first came there. Doesn't mean it won't change, but, you know.
I can aid you. I can make the ground softer for your steps, but I have to be within. I have to be near you. Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know if that would be worth it, since you're not as quiet as I am.
No, I understand. Okay, if we're gonna do it this way, let's just do it. Actually, Master Fafnir.
Yes?
Could you sit with Chance?
You, don't speak Draconic and
I do
don't
not
have
speak
tongues.
Draconic, but I'm assuming it lifted its head. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Kinda like-
You can tell it acknowledged you.
Yes.
Would you mind going with Chance here, or flying above him? Well, it'd probably be better if you don't fly. It's up to you. You know how to consider yourself better than I do. And would you mind if I look through your eyes? I'll just hold my hand out for him to like get in it if he's willing.
Fafnir, can you speak Giant?
No.
Oh.
Can you look through his eyes though? Like it has to be. I thought it had to be me.
I can do the animal thing.
You have a thing that you can use.
It's something with animal spirit or something like that. Let me look it up real quick. We've done it before.
Yeah, you did do it. You did do it before.
You did do it
Let
before.
me look it up.
Okay. Yeah, he'll hop in your hand.
Yeah, it's a spirit speaker. So I can do like beast sense, where it lets me see through their eyes. As long as they're willing. So it's a ritual cast, so I'll sit with him in my hand and I'll start writing in the ground in this weird runic language. And as I write the runes, they almost like dissipate. Like it's water rushing over sand, but it's not sand. It's like, I'm assuming it's like hardened earth, or just grasslands or kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he's writing into it, and then after 10 minutes, his eyes will go white, like you've seen Signe's before.
Okay. You guys, the rest of you, waiting the 10 minutes that it takes to do that.
Is there a river or something nearby?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because we're going up to the bridge, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just take off my backpack and stuff.
Okay.
No need to lug extra stuff just to listen.
Then, Ulfgar, are you casting tongues on Chance? Okay.
Hey man, you got the useful skills. you
He's
picked
got
a
the
support
skills that
class,
kills.
man.
I did not pick a support class. I picked a summoning fuck you class. And y'all are using me.
I'm sorry. Cleric says what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, cleric doesn't mean nice and helpful.
Well, support doesn't necessarily mean helpful. You can support someone and be not liking it.
Okay, well, once Fafnir is ready, I'll sneak out with him.
Okay.
Now, if Fafnir's not walking, does he have to roll his own stealth?
Probably not. I think you could just have him kind of on.
My shoulder.
Yeah. Then I don't think he has to do much if he's just on.
That's a hell of a stealth check. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
A hell of a stealth check.
Holy crap. Yeah, Joe, you're supposed to go. Just...
Yeah, I'm not here.
Okay, so you once again head up, where you can kind of listen in the conversation. As you're coming into the conversation, it seems to be discussing a matter. It seems to be very obvious that they're discussing the manner of, well, your castle and your people. The Kalida are basically like the officer is kind of goes, I assure you, we shall deal with transgressions into our joint territory soon enough. And the Cyclops kind of responds back, that is fine. Just make sure they do not continue to cause pestilence, and they stick away from our territory. We have increased the guards at the bridge to our lands. They should not travel that way. At least not alive. There might be a time that we must call upon you, though. We are planning war. We are constructing a few things for war. It will take time, but we require your assistance on this. No, we do not leave our lands except for this territory. If your war drags to here, then perhaps we shall help you. But if your war is to go to one of the other areas of the valley, I cannot say if we will join you. It would be up to our council to decide. The elders must ponder it. Our alliance with you has worked out for these many, many generations. But that does not mean we are one people. We both see the savagery in this land and enjoy it. After their conversation, they kind of peacefully break off. The Cyclopses will turn to the south, and the group of troops will turn to the north.
All right. So while they're having the conversation, what I'm focusing on is knowing one diplomacy, and have seen like people talk before about like I don't know what they're saying, but like having them like seeing two people be diplomatic to each other. I want to know like what their relationship might be, and as knowing the military, I want to know what kind of structure these guys look like just from appearances. Like if they look extremely organized.
All right. Why don't you roll me insight then? Wisdom insight.
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
I actually do want to do an insight myself, though, to see if I can tell like how willing they are to be working with each other.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, neither of you can kind of pick up for much. Unfortunately, it's like the magic allows you to understand what they're saying, but you feel like the translation through the magic does not translate maybe some inferences in the way that would be spoken. That just doesn't work the same. And chance,
it's kind of like a computer.
Yeah.
Interpreting it.
Yeah.
We are preparing for war.
By the
All
way,
your bases belong to us.
Yes.
I'm sitting, the however far back we are, and studying them because I have the eyes of the eagle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So, I'm checking what weapons they got, how good they are, how many there are.
If Sydney was active, we literally could all have been watching this conversation. So, I'm just saying it's really cool that all of us could have been watching this conversation because of Fafnir, the eye guy over there, and Sneaky Boy.
Oh yeah. You notice that the four Cyclops, they look pretty standard, you would say, for how Cyclopses, as far as you know, would be. Again, you probably aren't an expert on Cyclopses, so they just seem to all have very simplistic. None of them are dressed in anything that seems very military-driven or very, like, maybe... It just seems like a generalized, like, kind of hide armor and weapon that they have at their side. Which I will have to give you what a goddamn Cyclops has, because I don't remember what it is in this edition.
And last thing, do we have a chance if we fought one of the groups alone?
You have a chance here.
Cyclops seem pretty dangerous. Let me put it this way. If you went for the Cyclops, maybe, but, like, you've sized up just in general things like trolls and ogres, and they are pretty difficult. And from stories you've told, Cyclopses are a higher class of giant.
And the lovely boys, how do they seem different than the normal ones other than the armor?
They are certainly conducting themselves less like a band of just savage warriors, and more like an actual troop. They're in line, in uniform, and they are listening to orders of their commander. They seem like they're highly organized. Let me give you... They have... There we go. They're actually wearing metal armor. They have shields, and are using long swords and long bows. They seem to have chain shirts.
Alright. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. Their officer is wearing a breastplate, and also has similar weapons, though. And a shield also. So he does stand out differently from the others. Eventually the two sides will, though, move away and kind of leave sight.
I'll head back to the guys at that point.
Okay.
I'll cut off with Fafnir, and I'll look at him and goes, "Darn it, Chancey has cut his hair. Couldn't see anything."
Actually, Chance keeps his hair rather short.
It's Chance's fault. Chance isn't there. Shut up. I wasn't able to see anything. Dang it. That could have been important.
I couldn't hear anything, and then I just relay all of the things I saw.
Interesting. Do they
And once I'm
sound
back,
like...
I'll relay everything.
Yeah. Do they sound like the organized Kalida that Rufus reported in about? Versus the savage Kalida that we've ran into? Not us ran into, but
yes,
most of the people I've ran into?
They seem much more organized. I would say yes.
Alright.
This is the first time outside of their probable lands that you've even heard tales of any of their, maybe their actual military leaving that territory.
Alright. I think we should wait here for a little bit. Give them time to get away, and then we'll head to the bridge. That way we don't accidentally run into any waiting around scouts or anything like that from either party. I don't think the Cyclops didn't sound like they were as organized as the Kalida, but the Kalida are as organized as they are acting. I mean, it would be wise to put scouts on the bridge just to gather information.
Agreed.
Alright, and we might not have time to deal with the Dreadlord. We might have to focus our attention on... why does everyone want to fight us? Right.
My concern is what if the Dreadlord and the Kalida team up?
Yeah.
Doubtful.
It seems like they're hostile to any outsiders, but you said that they enjoyed the savagery of this land. The Dreadlord would inflate that. I mean, that's what he did to the goblins. He focused on what they wanted to get them to follow him.
Yes.
So, it's possible for the Cyclops, I think. I don't know about the Kalida. I'm hesitant. They seem way more organized. They seem like a built society. Versus the Cyclops.
Parts of them do. Parts of them don't.
I don't think even the unorganized one would have been there to anyone.
Yeah. Damn it. We're probably gonna have to be the ones that try to bridge that gap. We're probably gonna be the ones that are gonna have to go and speak to them. I don't know if there's anyone left in the kingdom as wise, and I gestured to Ulfgar. And as good at tracking and charismatic, and I'll point to you guys, as our group, especially now that Nokrin's gone. We haven't seen him. Anyways, that's something to worry about when we get to court, which is going to be fun to bring up.
You know what's going to be fun? If we do
Dying at the hands of Kalida?
We do have to try to strike a deal with him. Watching you squirm as you try to talk to him without flying into a rage. You have problems.
I have a problem?
Many.
Well, thank you.
They work for you. But still.
Anyway.
As long as they're not goblins, I think I'll be fine.
As long as they're not goblins. And as that, you continue your way towards the bridge, and we'll head to our first break, then, actually, as your journey back home continues. Which
With
probably...
more bad news.
More bad news. Yay!
Overwhelmingly
Bad news,
bad.
everyone.
Yay! An army on 2 fronts.
We're bringing pessimism to everybody. Yay! Anyway.
No.
Uh-huh.
Pessimism is when you have a negative outlook no matter what. We could just be like, hey guys, we found some more people to fight. Optimism.
You're being
in horrible
optimistic.
situations.
You're being optimistic in a horrible situation. That...
No. I don't think optimism. I think that's a whole different mental disorder if you show up with saying that. Like, that's.
It's called being a gnome.
More death.
Anyway, yes. Take a quick break. If you need to use the restroom, grab a snack, grab a drink, go and do that. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. So see you in a second, folks.